Ooh, plebeians, it's education time. I know a lot of you are not excited for this reality check video, but it is one that we definitely need to have at some point because it's a great life lesson. Now, this video is going to be 2 parts. 1 part. 3 parts. I don't know. Let's go with 2 parts. Let's go with 2 parts. Let's go with 3 parts. 2 parts to start. It's going to be 2 parts. The first part of this video is if you're collecting sports cards. Let me preface this whole thing by saying, yes, it's okay to buy a box once in a while. Absolutely. I don't mean 2 boxes a day. I don't mean a box a week. I don't mean, 6 boxes at a time, a pack and 2 singles, blind box, grab bags. I don't mean something like that. I mean, yes, it's okay to buy a box once in a while. And by that, what I mean is like every couple months. Because these boxes right here, for reference, are $349 for 4 cards. The first part of this video is why buying random hobby box sports cards is stupid, keyword, and you should not do it. Let me give you guys a gentle breakdown. Let me give you guys a general idea of how things can add up. So let's say you go to the sports shop one day and buy 2 hobby boxes in a pack, roughly $775. 780, we'll call it for convenience. I got my handy dandy calculator right here, and we're just going to add everything up. So, 780. Let's say, this is all within a month, let's say. Say a few days later, your buddy calls and says, hey, man, I'm going to the card shop. Come on down. And you go down, and let's say you buy another hobby box. Let's say, this time it's a little bit more premium, $7.99, so roughly $8.20 after taxes, $8.30, $8.40 after taxes, whatever. So let's go $8.20. Well, let's say you stop down there with your friend a week later. Now let's say you get another 2 hobby boxes and a few fat packs, another $880, let's say. Let's say they have a brand new set coming out, and if you don't pre-order those, this is where it starts to really add up. If you don't pre-order those boxes, that exact box is going to be $500 or $600 by the end of the year. So let's say you see them at $349 launch, and you say, I want to get some of these. This is my favorite hobby box set, whether it's Playbook, whether it's Gold Standard, whether it's Chronicles, whether it's Donruss Elite. And let's say you say, fuck it, I'm going hard this year. I'm getting 4 boxes. So you pre-order 4 boxes at, $300, roughly, $350, taxes, etc. Let's say at the end of the day, it's $1,400 after tax. Then let's say you pop in there one more time. This is all in the course of a month, mind you. Just come on, feel me here. I know this sounds insane. This sounds like it's not possible. Trust me, dude. Let's say you go to Target. Let's say you go to Target one day. It's the same thing with like Magic or Pokemon cards. Let's say you go to Target one day, get yourself a binder, 2 collector's boosters of Modern Horizons 2, a pack of sleeves, and a box of condoms because maybe you're one of the nerds that lives in the fantasy world where you actually have a girlfriend. That's $100. Hell, it's $120. Doesn't seem like a lot, but now do that 4 or 5 or 6 times in the course of a month. That's $600-$700. So you're back at the hobby shop one last time. You've pre-ordered your cards. You got your cards coming. Those are paid for. You paid for those through, what's that called that everybody uses? You paid for those through PayPal. So you don't really see that charge on your credit card statement. That just comes right out of your checking account. And let's say, it hasn't been too bad. I only bought a couple boxes, and all right, I'm going to get me 2 boxes of Panini Limited and another fat pack today. I'm really going hard today. I'm going for it today. I'm really hitting it hard. Everybody's like, yeah, what are we gonna get? What are we gonna get from our packs? Well, maybe you might get a Tua, you might get a Joe Burrow, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who you're chasing. Doesn't matter. You might get a Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Doesn't matter who you're chasing. Does not matter. That is irrelevant. So let's say it's another $930. For anybody keeping track, you have just spent $4,800. For anybody keeping track. And there's a message here. Most of the cards you got are probably going to be nothing base cards like this, especially out of hobby boxes. You get 2 or 3 memorabilia, autograph cards, relevant cards, thick cards that you're really excited about. They have a patch on them, a signature on them. They'll be numbered. They'll be fancy. You might be able to send it in to get graded. Hey, don't worry, card grading. You're next. And for anybody that thinks I'm going to trash card grading, you're wrong, because I do it. I do it a lot. But it can get out of hand, and we're going to talk about that coming up. But most of the cards you're going to have are going to be irrelevant, worthless, nothing base cards like this that are worth 50 cents or $1 or $2. Turns out I just ripped up a Mickey Mantle. No, I'm just kidding. But right, like, that's my point. That's what I want you guys to understand. Most of the cards that you're going to end up with, you buy like, let's say you buy like a box of Panini Limited. You can get them anywhere between $350 and $430. It's 3 packs of 5 cards, I think. 3 packs of 5 cards or 3 packs of 4 cards. I have a box over there. I'm too lazy to go and look at it. At best, 3 to 4 or 3 to 5 of those cards will be autographed, will be numbered, will be patched, will be memorabilia cards. The rest of those cards are literally nothing base cards like this. Yeah, Travis Kelce's a cool, he's a good player, but this is an irrelevant card. This card is worth absolutely nothing. So that's my point, right? Stop buying random hobby boxes, and instead of dropping that $800 at the card shop, just like the Tolarian Academy professor says about Magic the Gathering, go and buy the single cards that you want. You will spend either the same amount or less money, and you will get exactly what you want. Now, some boxes have better odds than others. I have opened boxes of Panini Limited that were 3 packs, no memorabilia cards, no autograph cards. It was 3 numbered base bitch cards for $430. If you think I didn't want to throw those cards through the fucking wall, you are out of your mind. I was pissed. And that's actually what prompted me to make this video. Just talking about, it's basically microtransaction loot box gambling for adults and not targeted towards children in FIFA. Fuck. I'm so twisted up here, I spilt on myself. But anyway, right, like, my point is, once every couple months, you want to go buy a hobby box for $400, go fucking do it. I'm telling you, go do it. Like, dude, if you're in the hobby, if you're in the sports card collecting hobby, you're probably going to do it at some point. Nobody's telling you not to. What I am telling you not to do is to do it frequently. Because you probably are still not going to end up getting what you want. Well, I got a 1-of-1 diamond flawless. This card's worth $20,000. You're right. And you're just like the person that bought the $3 Slingo and won $30,000. There's no difference. The only difference is instead of having a $30,000 check to show for it, you have a card with some fucking diamonds on it. Think about that for a minute. I am not telling you that you cannot buy this stuff. I am not telling you that this stuff is bad. I am telling you from a financial value standpoint, it is a poor investment. When you would be better off saying, okay, last month I spent $4,000 on hobby boxes. Oh my God, I have no money left. With that, with that $4,000, I could have spent $800 on the one card that I actually really want, on the rookie patch auto for player X, player of the year, rookie of the year, quarterback of the year, running back of the year, receiver of the year. The one card that I really wanted, and the other $3,200 or $3,600 or whatever I said is still in my pocket. Well, it's more, I don't care if it's more fun. I don't care if it's more fun. For all the people I hear complaining about being broke and having no money, but they're still doing shit like this, get smart. All right? Because I've been in this situation before, where I've spent a shit ton of money one month on hobby boxes. Or my friend came in the store by me, and my friend said to me, hey, dude, they got hobby boxes of UFC Prism Pro. They're only $370. So I said, oh, shit, buy me two. He comes back with two $370 retail Prism boxes of UFC. Now, I wasn't mad at him, dude. Seriously, before anybody thinks that, I was not mad at him. But I have never been so pissed off in my fucking life. I'm like, bro, I have no use for these because I don't give a shit about UFC. I was chasing the glove relic cards. I was chasing the one-of-one McGregor or Habib cards. I don't give a shit about these random Prism cards. So now I've got to take that $370 box, take the cards I got out of it, grade them, and hope to fuck I can resell them for some money. Because by themselves, they're not worth that much money. And for the reference, I think the best I got was like a $40 John Jones. Seriously. So think about that. Think about that. It's really important to know what you're buying. And, you know, I assumed that the person who was telling me, dude, it's this, knew what the fuck they were talking about. But they didn't. Hey, lesson learned. But I want you guys to learn from this, right? Because I know some of you guys like to collect cards. I know some of you guys are even, you know, you can look at the same thing with like, we can look at the same thing with grading cards, right? Let's talk about this. Why you shouldn't grade every random special card that you have. Now, before anybody thinks this is a dump on HGA, put your dick away. It is not. I love HGA. I love their slabs. I use the shit out of them. And for anybody that doesn't believe me, I have a fuck ton of orders open with them, so suck my dick. Anyway. Let's talk about why you shouldn't grade every random Tom, Dick, and card you have. Because if every rookie patch auto that you pull, let's say you pull a rookie patch auto for some random draft pick and you don't know who he is, but oh, it's got a nice patch on it, it's numbered out of 25, and it's got an autograph on it. All right, well, that's $20 to grade the card minimum on HGA, plus a shipping fee to return it to you. Plus, it takes about 60 days. In that 60 days, that player can get injured. We can find out that player isn't relevant. We can find out that that card is worth only $5 raw. Let's see what else can happen. They might not even be playing. They might get cut from the team. So a lot of things can happen in 60 days. So now you have a $20 investment to grade after pulling a card from a $300-400 box on a card that's only worth $5. I want you guys to think about that. Because this is a mistake that I've made. A lot. Now, there's some cards that I grade because I like the cards. Right? My brother jokes with me all the time. He's like, dude, you're Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's biggest fan. Plays the Kansas City Chiefs. Fucking love the cards. He's one of the first players that I ever pulled a numbered patch auto card for out of a box. So I just kind of was like, oh, I like this. I like this card. I like this player. So I grade all his cards. Most of the cards I grade from him are not worth that much money. Some of the cards I grade from him are worth like $150, $200, $250. And now they're graded, so they're worth more, usually. So it's okay to have a player or two or three players that you're a big fan of and that you want to get graded. And it's okay to get those $150, $200, $300, $400, or $50 or $100 cards graded. And you should definitely get them slabbed if you want to. Whether it's HGA, whether it's PSA, whether it's Beckett, like you definitely want to protect those cards and you want to protect your investment. For sure. That being said, you should not grade every Tom, Dick, and Harry card that comes across the line. Because it is very easy, especially once companies like HGA and PSA remove their limits of cards you can send and open up submission tiers again. It is very, very easy to submit 60 cards and spend $1,200 like that. Remember that. By itself, $20, $40, $100, $200, no big deal. Like I've got 20 orders like that. It's not a big deal, right? All of a sudden it's like, oh, there's no limit on cards anymore. Well, I've got all these patch cards. I've got all these patch auto cards out of 25s, out of 10s, out of 15s. I should send these in and get these graded. By the time you're done, you look at it, you're like, holy fuck, that's $1,200. That's a lot of money. It's why you really shouldn't grade every random card you have. You really want to be selective about it. And it's a great way to not get yourself in a situation where you end up with a bunch of slabbed, worthless cards. Another thing I want to talk about is keep track of how many, and the CGC and PSA and HGA actually, shout out to all three of these companies, have a really nice system where you can see what orders they have open from you. That is really nice, and I like it a lot. So, let's talk about how having one or two CGC, PSA, and HGA orders can turn into having 40 orders. Let's talk about that. Alone, a $1,000 PSA order or an $800 CGC order is not unfathomable. Or even having several HGA orders at $150 or $200 each, back when they limited the cards, not really a huge deal if you're grading cards and if you have the money to do it. Not really a huge deal. However, when you start to have multiple of these orders from different companies, remember, I've got two $800 orders at CGC. Not a big deal. I've got the money set aside for them. It doesn't matter, right? Not a big deal. PSA, I've got my bulk orders in there. Dude, they've been in there since January. Like, I think I got like 5 bulk orders. Remember that number, 5 bulk orders. And over at HGA, they got a bunch of my 30 and 60 day orders. That stuff's not coming due anytime soon. I don't have to worry about that, dude. Like, they've got like 12, 30 day, 60 day orders from me. No big deal, right? Like, it doesn't matter, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now let's say your orders at PSA and CGC and HGA this is a situation, but I guarantee you, if it can happen, it will fucking happen to you. Seven paid orders, they're paid right away at HGA, no big deal. But let's say those 7 paid orders come through at the same time, $20 to $40 shipping. Do the math. That's $140 to or more in an instant. PSA and CGC charge you when they grade your cards. Okay, I've got 4 bulk orders at PSA. I've got 2 standard rookie autos being graded for baseball. And I've got 4 bulk and 2 or 3 more standard orders over at CGC. Dude, no big deal. Not a big deal. This is a non-issue. No big deal, right? Okay, well, I got my 200 from HGA just clicked through. I got 7 orders being shipped back. That's a lot of orders at once. I've actually never had that happen. But now let's say all of a sudden PSA says, dude, hey, we got your cards. We got your bulk cards through. We're grading your bulk cards at CGC or at PSA. Well, fuck, I've got $100 for those 2 autograph cards, so that's $300 total. And each of those bulk orders, let's just say I've got 3, is $1,000 because I send 100 cards at a time, or because I send 80 cards at a time, or 95, or 115, or 83, or whatever the fuck I sent. All right, well, let's just say that's $1,050 plus $1,200 plus $1,100. All right, well, that's $3,600 for anybody who's counting right now. Like that. Oh, and CGC called. They emailed. CGC emailed, guys. And your 2 standards at 860 and 550 are coming through. And one of your bulk is coming through. That was 975. And you had an express in there too for 650. That's coming through too. You just spent $6,600 in a fucking instant. This is something to remember. Again, can it happen? Yeah, it can. Will it happen? Yeah, it might. So you end up with like 5 or 6 open orders at PSA, 5 or 6 open orders at CGC, bunch of open orders at HGA because that shit's all time logged because they do 10 days, 5 days, 2 days, 20 days, 30 days, 60 days, 800 days while your mom rubs your nutsack. Whatever, it doesn't matter. My point is, if you think this can't happen, it can. And you can very quickly be stuck with a oh shit moment. Now my credit card bill went from being $1,200 this month to being $8,500. I want you guys to understand this. Do not make this mistake. Keep your spending under control. And remember, do I really need to grade that $1.85 card? Probably not. Should I really grade that basic bitch land for no fucking reason for Magic the Gathering? If it's not an alpha or beta land, probably not. So think about that. Just a little food for thought this morning. I wanted to give you guys a little financial checkup here. If you're into the sports cards world, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, if you're into grading cards, if you're into buying expensive hobby boxes, if you think that stuff can't catch up to you, you can find yourself spending $5,000 to $10,000 in a month, depending on what happens and how things come through on your card and on your accounts, very, very quickly. I'm Neil with the Baldwin Plebs, and I want to thank everybody for joining me for a little bit more serious episode. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you grade with HGA, CGC, PSA? Have you ever had that experience buying hobby boxes where one day you buy like 1 or 2 boxes, and by the end of the month you look back and you're like, Jesus, I spent $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 on basically, worthless stock base cards. So that's what you usually end up with, worthless stock base cards. Have you had that experience where you have multiple orders open at PSA or CGC or HGA and they all come through at the same time? Have you ever had that happen? Let me know down in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you damn plebeians right here next time. GG, you plebs.